Hey CCA Cougar artists, it's Mrs. Smith again. We're gonna do our first our first art project together. It's gonna be a marker print flower doodle. I know that's a lot of weird things. It doesn't have to be flowers, it could be nature, things in nature. I like flowers because it's like spring and it makes me happy. This is kind of like what we're gonna do. This is just a small square piece of paper, so you can use whatever size you want, but you're gonna need your big drawing sheet. You're gonna need some markers. They cannot be permanent. The colored markers here, you just need some regular, felt markers. Scissors, a gallon Ziploc bag, a Sharpie. You actually have to use a permanent marker for this part because when you wet your paper, if it's not Sharpie, it will bleed. If you don't have a Sharpie, a black crayon or black oil pastel will be fine. And a spray bottle. I know most of you don't have a spray bottle. If you don't have it, it's okay. We can do it without, so just watch. If you want to print this out, it's on the box in the link. It's just some different flower, nature, doodle ideas. You can print that, or you can just do it however you want without printing it. So first thing, the reason I gave you this big sheet is so that we could cut it in half and use it for other projects. So fold it in half, and then you'll create a line and then just cut on that line. So now you have two pieces instead of one big one. If you have just tons of paper at your house and you want to do a giant one of these, you can. It's just, it needs to be able to fit on your Ziploc bag. So I'm actually going to trim it a little bit more. If you only have a small Ziploc bag, then you might need to make your paper smaller to fit. I'm just going to cut like that. So it's kind of like a square. It doesn't really matter because it'll still look awesome. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my Sharpie or my permanent marker, or you can use a black crayon. If you use a black crayon, you need to push pretty hard because it looks better the harder you push. So I'm just gonna do some flower doodles. Again, you can draw whatever you want. If you want to draw a bunch of bugs or fish, feel free. I like to make different petals, different like sizes and shapes of petals. I like doing the little heart-shaped petals. We're gonna do that in another drawing, so you'll notice. Maybe a rose. Maybe we'll do another. Feel free to pause the video if I'm going too fast. That is okay. Let's do one of these kind of swirly ones. When you go around, just start making it bigger and bigger for the petals. And then maybe we can make a little snail. These are actually his eyes, but I made him his antenna instead. Okay, and now we're gonna make some stems. I always like to make the stems kind of a double stem instead of just one line. If you want to just make one line, go ahead. I just like to make it a little thicker. You do not have to do that. And then this one is going to go behind this one. See that? Okay, now what do I need? Some leaves. Another easy way to make a leaf, if you have a hard time with this shape, is just make a line coming out like this. And then you go down and around, and then down and around on the other side. So it makes the vein for you. So after you make your curve, you go down here, kind of like a football, and then you go down here, like that. And then you can make some veins if you want to, or you don't have to. Sometimes I like to make leaves by making a curve and then kind of going like that, not going all the way down to here. Watch that one again. See? And then maybe I'll do one like this. And then this guy can have a big one. I'm gonna make it a little spiky, like that. Okay. The next thing we're gonna do is we are going to move this over. I'm going to take my Ziploc bag and I'm going to color this with markers. And however you want to do it, I'm just going to kind of make it kind of in a rainbow. And you want to hold it kind of flat when you do it. Instead of like this with a sharp line, kind of hold it flat so that you can get a lot more ink on the bag. Maybe I should go all the way over to the sides. Why not? I like the difference in these two because this is like a yellow orange, like a marigold, and this is like a bright yellow. You should learn about intermediate colors, or you probably already have learned about intermediate colors. You have your three primaries, which is red, yellow, and blue, and then you have your secondaries, which are purple, green, and orange, and then you have your intermediates, which is like red, orange, blue, violet, red, violet, yellow, green. Sometimes these marker sets have a whole bunch of choices. That's why I like them. Like, there's my name. Look at that. And I'm kind of overlapping a little bit when I do each color. Which purple should I use? I'll probably use the darker one. Yeah, okay. Oh, that looks like blue. Okay, now I'm going to use both. Okay. Lots of ink. Now, this next step, you can spray your bag with your water sprayer. If you don't have a water sprayer, what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper and you're just going to go run it under the water at the sink really quickly just to get it wet. So just turn on the water, stick your paper under there, try not to drip all over the floor, maybe put a paper towel underneath, and then do it. And then you're going to make a print. So I'm going to spray this. You don't want it like soaking wet, like too much water. You just want to get it wet. It's pretty good. And now we're going to flip this over. Make sure it fits. I forgot to tell you, and this is important, make sure that you cover your workspace. So you want to have some sort of paper or newspaper or something down before you do any art project because you don't want to mess up your parents' beautiful furniture. All right, I'm going to peel it off. And we have a beautiful print. Yay! Now set this somewhere to dry. And it's going to curl, but that's okay. I'm going to take this part here and kind of bring it up. Now this technique can be used with all kinds of different drawings. You can do, a picture of your house or your pet, and then any colors you want. You can do like a galaxy, with stars. You could even do white oil pastel or white crayon. Kind of like a resist. Some of my older kids know what I'm talking about with the crayons. And then you could do like blacks and purples and blues and make like this cool like galaxy with planets and stuff. Just make sure you use crayons and push really, really hard when you do that. That way the water will not mix with the crayons.